What if I told you the world's richest people don't just own yachts, but they own floating empires so wild they make cruise ships look like rowboats, with one even hiding a $4 billion secret that'll drop your jaw? From secret submarines to gold-plated interiors and even onboard missile defense systems. These aren't just status symbols. They're floating fortresses of luxury, power, and secrecy. Buckle up, because today, we're diving into the most insanely luxurious yachts owned by the world's richest people. Let's kick off with Icon, a $600 million titan owned by Russian billionaire Andrei Melnichenko, a guy who doesn't do average anything. This yacht's 482 feet long, longer than a football field with the bleachers included, and its sleek, futuristic hull looks like it's ready to star in a blockbuster. What makes Icon absolutely unhinged? A glass-bottomed swimming pool suspended right over the ocean. Picture this. You're floating in warm, bubbly water, clutching a $10,000 glass of champagne, while sharks, fish, and maybe a curious octopus drift below you through a crystal-clear floor. It's like swimming in a nature documentary, but with better drinks. Icon's got a hybrid diesel-electric engine pushing it to 18 knots insanely fast for something this huge, like a freight train racing a Ferrari. Inside, it's a billionaire's playground. A cinema room with walls of hand-stitched leather so soft you'd sleep on them. A gym packed with weights and treadmills that'd tire out a pro wrestler. And get this, a secret underwater observation deck where you can sip coffee and watch a squid glow in the dark. Melnichenko splashed $40 million on the interior alone, including a Swarovski crystal chandelier that changes colors with his mood green for calm. Red for Don't Talk to Me. 50 crew members keep it running, from chefs whipping up lobster to engineers tweaking the tech. They say he once sailed it to the Arctic Circle just to sip vodka while watching polar bears from that underwater deck, because why not? Would you dare swim in that glass pool with the sea staring back, or is the underwater deck more your speed? Drop a comment, I want your take. Next up is Eclipse, a $1.5 billion monster owned by Roman Abramovich, a Russian oligarch who lives like he's got a secret agent on speed dial. This yacht's 533 feet bigger than most battleships, and it's loaded with features so wild they sound like fiction. 2 helicopter pads? Check. A missile defense system? You heard that right, it can shoot down incoming threats like it's guarding a war zone. Oh, and there's a submarine that slides out of the bottom for when Abramovich wants to disappear into the deep. Privacy's his thing. Eclipse has anti-paparazzi lasers that scan for cameras and zap them with light, turning sneaky shots into blurry trash. Inside, it's a billionaire's paradise. 24 guest cabins with silk sheets, gold faucets, and marble floors. 2 swimming pools, one that converts into a dance floor with a button press, and a master suite with bulletproof glass, because when you're worth $14 billion, you don't take chances. 70 crew members run this floating empire, from bartenders mixing $1,000 cocktails to pilots prepping the choppers. Rumor has it, he threw a New Year's party for 300 guests off the coast of St. Bart's, with helicopters buzzing in celebs and a fireworks display that turned night into day. Imagine that! You're dancing on a pool turned nightclub, submarine on standby, missiles ready to roll. Submarine getaway or dance floor party, what's your pick? Now, let's get nuts with Streets of Monaco, a $4 billion yacht so bizarre, it's basically a floating city, owned by an anonymous Middle Eastern billionaire. Nobody knows who, and that secrecy's half the thrill. This 500-foot wonder recreates Monaco on water, with a mini Monte Carlo casino where you can bet fake millions, a Grand Prix-inspired racetrack, and a legit beach with real sand, palm trees, and a fake sunset glowing on giant screens. It's not a yacht, it's a vacation you sail away on. Inside, there are 7 guest suites, each with private jacuzzis, velvet couches, and walls that double as forked TVs, plus a 3-story penthouse with a waterfall. Yes, a real waterfall crashing into a lagoon pool surrounded by tropical plants and neon fish. The tech's insane! A go-kart track where you can race electric cars at 30 miles an hour, a glass elevator that drops you into the sea for a swim, and a drone landing pad for deliveries of caviar or gold bars. Who's checking? It costs $10 million a year to maintain more than most people's lifetime earnings, and that's before fuel. They say the owner once hosted a royal engagement party on board, with 200 guests playing poker in the mini casino while a string quartet played on the beach deck under a starry sky. Picture pulling into harbor with this. Every other boat would look like a life raft. Go-karts or waterfall penthouse, what's calling you? Tell me below. Number 4 is History Supreme, a $4.8 billion jaw-dropper owned by an anonymous Malaysian businessman who said normal isn't in his vocabulary. This 100-foot yacht is adorned with 10,000 kilograms of solid gold and platinum, covering the hull, deck, and railings, gleaming like a floating treasure fit for royalty. Step inside, and it's bonkers. The master bedroom's walls are made of meteorite rock chunks of outer space, and there's a statue carved from real T-Rex bones because marble's too basic. The wine cellar stacked with $1 million bottles of vintage Bordeaux, the anchors dripping with diamonds, and there's a $100 million gold iPhone dock because charging your phone should cost a fortune. Building it took 3 years, with artisans handcrafting every inch. They say the gold was sourced from secret mines and took a year just to refine. Rumor has it he sailed it to Singapore once, docked it under armed guard, and hasn't been spotted since like he's living in his own golden fortress. This yacht's a flex so loud it echoes across continents. Gold hull or dinosaur statue? Which part's wilder to you? Comment, I'm dying to hear. Finally, we've got Lionheart, a $150 million party machine owned by British billionaire Sir Philip Green, a retail tycoon who loves the spotlight. At 295 feet, it's not the biggest, but it's the most fun per square inch. Imagine a rooftop nightclub with a DJ booth pumping bass, strobe lights flashing, and a bar slinging $5,000 champagne like it's water. Green's a party animal. There's a hot tub that fits 20, a cinema screen that rolls out over the deck for movies under the stars, and a water slide that launches you into the ocean like a cannonball champ. The kicker! A hidden garage with jet skis, speedboats, and a mini seaplane that takes off from the deck because why walk when you can fly? Inside, it's plush. Italian marble floors, a dining room with an 18th century crystal chandelier, and a spa with a massage table that pulses to your favorite beats. Green once threw a 200-guest rave off Ibiza, with LED lights turning Lionheart into a glowing disco ball, and the seaplanes circling overhead like a stunt show. That's living. Water slide or rooftop club, what's your move? Tell me in the comments. There you go, 5 of the most insane yachts owned by the world's richest, from glass pools to gold hulls, missiles to meteorites. These are money turned into madness, and I've got a challenge. If you had billions, what wild feature would you put on your yacht? A shark tank? A roller coaster? Drop your craziest ideas below. I'm reading everyone and liking the wildest. Smash that like button if these blew your mind, they're unreal. Want more billionaire insanity? Subscribe and hit the bell, we're just getting started. Which yacht's your favorite icon? Eclipse, Streets of Monaco, History Supreme, or Lionheart? Tell me below, and let's keep this going. See you next time.